Hey everybody, this is Neil here. Welcome to the Web Sales Copy Overview, the first module in the Copy Crash Course training. In this module, I'm just going to go over the very basics behind web sales copy, why it's important, the different mediums, what they're useful for, and so forth. And then, in the following videos is where we're going to get much more into the things that, especially if you're a veteran and you're just looking for a couple, nuggets and tips, that those are the videos you're going to want to dive into for sure. But I wanted to make sure that I have everybody covered in case, you're really kind of brand new to copy, um, or even you have a decent knowledge but no real base foundation. So everything is going to build on itself in this course. So it's very important that, we get a good baseline going. So let's just go ahead and get started, okay? According to Wikipedia, copywriting is writing copy for the purpose of advertising or marketing. The copy is meant to persuade someone to buy a product or influence their beliefs, right? It can also be used to influence someone to take an action, right? In the form of internet, it can be for quite a bit of different things. And excuse me for the ton of text there, but I wanted to get it all in, and I'll read it so that you can make sure you get it clearly. It says the internet has expanded the range of copywriting opportunities to include web content, ads, emails, blogs, social media, and other forms of electronic communication. Writing for the web is very different from writing for other media, tending to be more succinct than traditional advertising. Other than stylistic nuances come or other stylistic nuances also come into play. It has also brought new opportunities for copywriters to learn their craft, conduct research, and view others' work. Okay. The reason that I point this out is because when it comes to copywriting on the internet, there's a broad scope of how it can be applied, and we'll talk in a minute how that's a good thing, right? In addition, the ability to view other people's work. As you continue to learn from me as a copywriter, you'll find that much of what I've been able to accomplish came from reverse engineering other copywriting that I already saw taking place in the market that I was in, okay, or wanting to enter, right, and testing it and adding my own tweaks and fine tuning it, right, over time. Um, but there's no reason not to duplicate what's working for others in the market that you are in, and just do it a little bit better or different, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. So bottom line, copywriting brings in the money, okay? These are just a couple stats I pulled from salary.com. Offsite copywriter in the United States, $71,000 a year writing copy from home, right? And it depends on your, that's, if you go up to a senior level, the hourly rates get up well up over $100 an hour, okay? You can see advertising consultant. Why would they pay somebody $269,000 a year on average to consult them on advertising? Because that's what brings in the money, okay? And I'm just going to tell you a little quick background story on me and when I got into copywriting and what led me to it and how, in so many ways it has helped me to date, and I know that it will continue. You know, um, when I wanted to get my first sales letter written for my first serious information product, I went to some marketers that I knew, and they all recommended that I hire a copywriter. So I was recommended to a guy who you most likely know by now. He has a giant beard, right? Colin Theriot, good, friend of mine, and I've known him for quite a long time. He's a great guy. I highly respect everything that he teaches, and I've learned a ton from him. Um, the bottom line is I saw his rates and what it cost to hire a serious copywriter. I think it was $500 at the time just for a review, and it well up into the thousands to get the actual sales letter written. And that's when I thought to myself, well, hey, maybe this is a skill that I might want to pick up myself, right? And as I've gone on, the ability to write my own copy, to write my own advertising, and learn from that has raised my value tremendously. I could charge well over $100 an hour for my services, if I wanted to, right? You could backwards the math on the offer that I made in the OTO to do a review of your copy. The rate there at the 50% off normally would be $300 an hour, right? So $300, excuse me, for 2 hours. So that's $150 an hour. But if you do the math, that's well up over $300,000 a year just from consulting people, right? And why would they pay that? Because if I can step in and I can help you increase your conversions by 4-5% over the course of thousands of visitors, that can stand to make you far more money than you're going to pay me, right? So that's why I just want to point out how lucrative it is and why it's worth your time to really hone your craft when it comes to copywriting, okay? Um, Bottom line is copy is the key to successful marketing, no matter what medium you use to advertise. Not only that, but it's a skill that will translate to any business, product, or service that you decide to promote. You know, it adds a certain level of versatility to your business that's just unparalleled, right? You can step into essentially any niche and know that you can compete because you know that you can produce winning copy and put a relevant offer in front of an audience that wants to buy it, right? And you're going to hear me talk about that a lot throughout this course, creating the offer. And it's not just about creating one specific page. It's not about just creating a squeeze page or just creating you know, advertising copy. It's all going to go together, and we'll talk more about that, okay? But for me, when I was assessing, you know, what I wanted to do with my business and, you know, what would work well for me, I realized that, you know, hey, copywriting, if I, worst case scenario, I could go get a job making 70 grand a year, which is decent money for most people, right? Um, you know, and not only that, but I've elevated my own personal individual value on a consulting level sky high, and you know, it helps when I step in to produce my own products and services. It's even better. So, bottom line, you know, you'll find I'm a big proponent. Copy is key. It's the one thing that most people just don't overlook. But you're in this course, so I know that you're interested, and I won't hammer it home, but I want to make sure that you understand the importance behind it and what you're creating for yourself, right? Because I will be straight up with you. It's not always going to be easy. You're going to have to put in some time, you know, and even if you're sitting there thinking, I don't want to write these big, long sales letters, you may not always do that. You can source out the difficult stuff, but you're going to be the one behind creating the offer, creating the funnel, creating the hook, creating the headlines, you know, and the pitch and the offer and for your product or a client's product if that's what you're doing for them. And if this isn't you at all and you're like, man, I'm not going to be the one doing that, I want to hire a copywriter, you're still going to need to know how to work with that copywriter. So all this information is going to be highly valuable to you, okay? And you'll see throughout how that's worked for me. In this course, we're going to focus on the 5 main mediums used to generate sales online today. You know what? I'm going to pause for 1 second because I actually had 5 in there and I meant to put 6, okay? So sorry about that. I'm all about, you know, semi-imperfect action. Let's just get it done, keep moving. I'm not a video editor. I'm a copywriter and a marketer, right? So in this course, we're going to focus on the 6 main mediums used to generate sales online today, okay? And the ones that I can help you in the most, that I have the most experience in, right? So they are sales pages, right? I'm sure you're familiar with sales pages by now. We're going to go over each one of these, so I'm going to go ahead and just whip them out here. We've got websites and advertising copy, okay? So sales pages, squeeze pages, online video, which can be sales videos or all kinds of stuff, webinars, which I'm sure you're familiar with, websites, which can be, you know, a company website, it can be an e-commerce website, you know, there's all types of sales copy for that, and then advertisements as well. So, and that's the great thing about this course is, you know, no matter what you're doing online right now, some of this should apply to you because most likely, you know, you're going to be using one of these mediums to offer whatever it is you're offering, okay? So no matter which medium you use, the ultimate goal is to get the prospect to take action. The medium you select is largely dependent on exactly what that action is, okay? If webinars, for example, are better for a high ticket item, then that is where you want to go and sell a high ticket item. You don't want to try and sell a high ticket item through a sales page that's more designed for a lower ticket item, right? Because you're going to you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball immediately, or you know, you're screwing yourself from the day one. You might as well not even write the copy or pay anybody to, okay? I'm not saying you can't do high ticket with just sales page. I'm sure it has been done, but the whole idea, if you look at this, you want to give yourself the best chance for success. How am I going to give myself, if you look at almost like a mathematical equation, you know, what's going to give me the strongest likelihood for my copy to succeed, for my offer to be successful, okay? And to do that, it all starts with selecting the right market, selecting the right customer, and then the right medium, and then the right message, right? Okay, and we're going to get into selecting the niche and the customers and all that in the following videos, okay? All right, so sales pages. Talk about sales pages for a minute. Design to sell a product or service. Most likely you've seen one or two. The way you got into this course was through one, right? That used a combination of video and written text. They can be long, medium, or short. Like I said, they can also use text only. They can combine video. They may also use images and graphics to support the message, okay? Generally used for lower priced products. Under $100 is a good number to use. Not that you can't do a higher priced product, but it's going to take more in-depth copy. For example, on a webinar, you're there verbally adding to it so you can expand without having to write so much, right? And if you're paying a copywriter and they have to write more, that's going to raise your cost, okay? At the end of the day, affect your profit. So generally used for lower priced products. Under $100, you want to go with the sales page, okay? Should fully explain your offer and convince the prospect to buy it, right? Bottom line, should fully explain your offer and convince the product to buy it once they've gotten to the buy button portion of the page. That is the ultimate goal of the sales page. You have to understand what the goal is for each medium, the action, and what you're trying to accomplish. And that will be important throughout everything you do, excuse me. Can also be used to create authority in a marketplace, okay? Something that will be a great tip for you and help me a lot. I learned it from Brad Goss. It was, you know, if let's say 100 people, for every 100 people that go to your page, 10% of them convert into buyers. That means for every 100 people, 90 of them said, you know what, nah, I'm not interested in that, right? But maybe they read your copy, maybe they read your message, maybe the timing wasn't just great, or whatever the case is. But by demonstrating that you're an expert on a topic and getting positive reviews and having, you know, customers raving about you and whatever it is that you're in, niche that you're in, you know, that can create authority in and of itself, okay? Not only that, but in your copy, write to the person who you want to be in the 10%, right? Focus your copy on them. If you want, you know, smart, intelligent, action-taking type people, speak to those people in your copy. Don't say things that would attract to a lazy, you know, uninterested type of person, like, you know, a push button solution or whatever type of thing, right? You need to, you know, write your copy to appeal to the person that you want to buy, because that's going to help you in the back end, right? Then you're going to be able to generate more sales because the rest of your content is going to be related, most likely, and the content in your niche to those customers, right? Those types of customers. So that'll help you from the beginning, okay? All right, so my favorite tool for creating these is Optimize Press. There are multiple ways you can go about it. You can use whatever themes and so forth. In this course, I'm going to show you a walkthrough of how I have done it and what works for me. I also provide my template and a bit of a walkthrough for that as well. You're welcome to use that, you know, as you see fit, fill it in on your own. If you really get to a place where you know you're not sure, you're unsure if the writing is good and you want me to review it, you know you can go back to that offer page anytime during this launch, or I'll have a button here in the members area as well. So bottom line, I'd be happy to review it for you once you fill in the template to get the most out of it. And in order to do that, you want to use the same tools as me. But you check below the video and there'll be a link to get Optimized Press as well. So not an affiliate link either, just a link. So squeeze pages, okay? Squeeze pages, I know, you know, this again, this is where it might get kind of basic for most veteran marketers. Designed to capture information such as a name, email, and phone, right? Ultimately, they're used to capture leads, right? Generally done by giving away something for free in exchange for the information, such as a name, phone, and email, right? Ultimately, it's going to be used for lead generation to get them into your funnel to buy your paid products or your client's paid products or whatever the case is. You know, this can be seen in a local business example of, hey, we're giving away, you know, a $10 off coupon, put your name and email here to get the coupon. They get the coupon, they come into the business, and then they spend money, right? That can also be seen in an online fashion where they, you know, download this ebook right now, put your name in here, and email here to get to download your ebook to find out how to do 10 different things that are going to help you and change your life forever. And then that leads up to your whole, you know, life-changing blog, right? So used primarily for lead generation. Normally serves as the front end to your funnel, okay? It's the way that you're going to attract people into your business. Can also be used for webinar or event registration, right? Squeeze page, right, is the name for it. And at the same time, you're going to be getting them to put in their name and email to register for your webinar or event, right? Should give away high quality information and build a relationship right there on the page, and especially the information that you're giving them, whether it is a webinar or an ebook, that's your first opportunity to build a relationship with the prospect, so you want to make sure your content is doing that. My favorite tool for this is Lead Pages. You can also find a link below this video for that. Fantastic tool. I will go into it a little bit more in depth a little bit later in the course and on the live training, but bottom line is what it does is they're already predetermined, pre-tested squeeze pages that are drag and drop. People have already ran traffic and tested them, top level marketers and copywriters, and all you have to do is go in there, plug in some good copy, and you know, you're almost guaranteed to convert every time. And if you really know what you're doing and you can put really good copy in there, then you can get amazing conversion rates. You know, I've had as high as 70, 80%, you know, registration rates and things like that. So by using my tactics in their tool, right? So anyways, online video, okay? Online video, I'm sure you know, is growing like wildfire. And the bottom line is it can be used for all kinds of marketing. It is a marketer's dream, right? It gives you ability to connect with your prospects in person almost. You can use it for sales pages, or sales pitch or free content, you know. You can add it to a sales page or a squeeze page and it'll almost instantly increase conversions as long as the message is congruent in most cases, right? Great source of traffic for lead generation. People just love watching video. Excellent way to connect and build a relationship. More than traditional copy, as not as many people are likely to read it, right? Involves both visual and verbal communication, and that's where internet sales copy gets to be very interesting compared to normal sales copy. Is, you know, they're seeing the visual, the colors, the words. They're hearing the voiceover, or they're looking at you if you're talking to them directly in person, right? And they're seeing your mannerisms, and you can use all of that to you know, position whatever it is you're trying to position in your video, right? And again, also included along with this course, a video script that you can sort of use to work off of for essentially any niche or thing that you're doing with video. Okay, a video is its own nut to crack, and you know, we're all always getting better at it every day. But it's an amazing tool. Okay, my favorite tools include Screencast-O-Matic, which is what I'm shooting this with right now, Video Jack, which is great for easy editing, and Simple Video Pro to host and post them on the web, and YouTube for helping with that as well, and also for traffic and so forth, right? So video is definitely the future, and the better you can get at converting video, you're only going to be positioning yourself for major profits down the line. So, okay, webinars. Webinars are huge. Webinars have been some of the most profitable forms of advertising I've ever done. Combines visual, verbal, and live interaction. Really takes it up a notch, right? You can actually get your questions answered. You can take on objections as you're going, right? So those types of things allow for a higher ticket item, and you know, or better for a higher ticket item that might require more in-depth pitch, right? Gives you more time to get to know your customer to get to know you, to really build almost as if you were doing an in-person sales presentation, right? But the other thing is it's scalable, so you can do it on a wide scale, which makes it pretty amazing tool. Allows for real-time feedback and adjustments, which when it comes to sales and copywriting, it's huge. As a copywriter, to see how people are reacting to your words and your slides and your visuals, and then get their feedback and their comments. Not only can you adjust right then and there on the fly, but you know, I'll teach you throughout this course. It's huge to analyze what you've done in your copy. You know, if it's your sales page, maybe you're looking at statistics or a heat map. You know, but if it's a webinar, you can literally feel how people are reacting to your presentation as you go. So it's pretty amazing. Generally uses an educate first, pitch later approach, right? So I'm sure by now, if you're a marketer, you've been on a webinar or two, most likely. And more often than not, it starts with, you know, good information that leads up to a product or something that's going to be offered at the end, right? So it allows you to really educate a prospect, which, you know, is a big thing in copywriting and online sales. The more educated they are, the more likely they are to buy. It also allows you to connect and get that like and get those yeses, you know, and the more they know, like, and trust you, the more likely they are to buy from you, okay? Often converts much higher than a traditional sales page, right? I've seen webinar conversions sky high as 40%, you know, and you're talking a 197 type of product, right? If you figure if you can get a 20% conversion for a 197 product, that is amazing, right? I've had as high as $50 earnings per click on a webinar. Never seen anything close to that with a sales page. Okay. Um, can be automated to look live if needed, right? I personally have never been one to delve into automated webinars too much. I just do better. I like the live effect. But if you want to set up the automated, there's tons of ways you can go out there and do that. Okay. For these webinars, I just use good old GoToWebinar. Okay. I know there's been a lot of competitors that have come and go and or maybe are still around. To me, it's a marketplace. It's comfortable with it. The users are comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with it. So, until something really comes in and blows it out of the water, I'll continue to use it. So, anyways, that's it for that on webinars. Again, we're going to get into all these things in more detail as we go throughout the course. So, website copy is something that's often overlooked by website owners. They just assume, well, I got the website. I just need to basically put the basic information up there that people need to know, and that's it, right? Like, sure, that will work to an extent. Some people might call you and some people might email you, but if you want to get the most out of your website and you want to get the best bang for your buck, so to speak, it needs to be well thought out, well mapped out, right? Um, and websites come with different challenges, okay? For one, they can be designed to sell any product, physical or digital or service. So we could be talking about a consulting website for a consulting firm, or a local business, or an e-commerce site, or selling digital goods, or an affiliate site that needs content and so forth, right? All of that is website content and writing. Okay. um, it includes a lot of variables, okay? Compared to like a regular sales page, might be very straightforward. You kind of don't give them too much to look at. There's not a lot of navigation. It's just up, down to the buy button, right? A website, you can go, right on from the very first. They can click the logo. There's navigation. There's other content within it they can look at, and all of that still needs to work together to accomplish the goal of the website, okay? So it combines writing for both educational and sales purposes, as well as often needing to be SEO friendly, which is a trick in and of itself, putting the right amount of keywords into your articles so that you can dual purpose them and get traffic from them as well, right? That they're not just there, to read once you send people there, right? And the educational content needs to lead up to the sales content, right? And the sales content doesn't need to be actually sales content. More often than not, you're going to be sending them to another location, to an actual sales page to make the purchase, excuse me. So the sales content is more, I probably should have worded that a little better, pre-sale content, right? That where you're going to be then sending them over to where they're going to make a purchase on a sales page, okay? Should convey the overall brand message throughout and ultimately drive the user to take action, okay? The action could be different. If it's a lead generation site, maybe they want them to do some reading about the company and then call them, or maybe they want them to, just trying to capture emails and leads, so, feature that throughout the site, right? Or, if the goal is to get them to click an affiliate link and go over and make an affiliate purchase, obviously you want to subtly lead to that. So there's different things that go into it. And it's all very important. And again, so you can see how web copy is translating in a major way to these mediums, right? And the ability to create the offer and put together the message and then translate it through these mediums is key to successfully making money online, period. Whether you're doing it for yourself, whether you're doing it for a client, it doesn't matter, okay? Okay, so final one, ad copy, and this is a big one, right? What did I show you back there? It said $300,000 a year job for advertising consulting, right? Ad copy is key, and in a second, we're going to talk about how you want it to be congruent throughout the funnel. Ad copy is the very, very front end of what the customer sees, the prospect sees. So it could be on Facebook, they click there, AdWords, search marketing, or there's YouTube ads, Twitter ads as well, email marketing. Emails are advertisements, display advertisements, which can be done through Google or other various networks where they have massive display networks, which that combines graphical and web copy. So you need to not only worry about what the writing says, but what does the overall visual message convey, right? Direct mail pieces, you may end up needing to. I've written all kinds of copy for different things because bottom line is if it's marketing material, it needs sales copy. Product design, like headlines and names of products even, and slogans and taglines, okay? So again, not necessarily you're going to be great at all this stuff right out of the gate. Some of it takes a lot of testing, and that's where, you can get help from you can learn from other people. The internet is a great place where you can network and talk to other people and learn from other people. So long story short, and I'm going to give you everything my best stuff on all of these topics as we go throughout here, okay? So to be most effective, you need to create a sales funnel, and the copy should be consistent. The message should be consistent from start to finish, okay? You wouldn't write an advertisement about learn how to fish and then send them to a sales page that taught them how to hunt, right? Or whatever, because yeah, maybe there's a little connection there that if you like fishing, you like hunting, but most likely they were really interested in fishing and they didn't see the information that they wanted about fishing, and so now they're out of there, right? So even then, it goes beyond that. Now your other offers, your additional upgrades or add-ons or whatever, those need to be congruent as well. So now that you've got this basic package, here's what the additional package does to complement that, right? And you wouldn't want that to be about something besides fishing. You would be, okay, great. Now that you got this thing about how-to fishing, would you like this special deal on these premium poles and bait, right? Okay, that's just an example. Okay, so here's a basic funnel layout that we follow. This is largely the same exact thing that you learned from Ryan Dice and all those guys. And I mean, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel, right? If it works, it works. And obviously, we make it flexible to whatever we're doing. Sometimes we don't use each step throughout the process if we don't see it necessary. And the key is, and we're going to talk about this a lot, putting yourself in other people's shoes, thinking about things logically, right? And you can design the funnel to what will, what's the stretch point? What's too much? Where are you gonna just totally make this guy like user hate you and your company and your brand? And where is it you can offer just enough to get the most value out of the entire funnel? And when should you offer what, right? So lead magnet, that's your squeeze page. That's your thing that you're giving away, your promotion, your offer, your deal, your free content that leads up to your main stuff that you sell. Tripwire is what you use to turn them from a freebie seeker into a buyer, right? For example, maybe you come into a restaurant, you brought your $10 off coupon and, you buy a basic meal, that's the tripwire, right? Then the core offer is all the booze and the drinks and the dessert and everything that they're going to tack on after that. Do you see where I'm coming with that example? So and this works in a wide variety of ways online, okay? For example, in my business, we have training and then we have software, which serves as more of the core offer, okay? Profit maximizers as well. Webinars, coaching, consulting, masterminds, or in-person events, and this can all be related to local businesses as well. Or related products and services. So maybe you don't have a bunch of more stuff you can offer. Well, that's where maybe an affiliate relationship or where a partnership relationship with a complementary company can come into play as well, right? And then a return path, which is if you really just they haven't bought anything from you and they're just lurking and freebie seeking, maybe you make them a different sweet offer and see if you can turn them into a buyer. Okay, and ultimately that is the funnel that you want to push all the traffic through with the advertising, right? So knowing the end goal is to get them from A to Z. You want to focus on building a plan for them to follow, and then your copywriting needs to walk them through the process, okay? So that is how that works for me, okay? Before you set any of that up, however, it is majorly important that you research your market and identify your ideal customer for your product or service, and then really break that ideal customer down into what drives them, what they're all about, what's going to drive them to take action, because that's where it all starts. First, you need to figure that out. Who is that, and then also you need to know who's selling in your market, right? What are they selling? How are they positioning it? How are they pricing it? And how can you compete with them and stand out and be better and all those types of things? So before you even go into writing all of your writing, you're going to want to know this stuff. Or before, when you go to hire a copywriter, they're going to want to know this stuff. Okay, so key information. We're going to get into that on the next video. This one ran almost half an hour. I'm pretty surprised. I didn't think it would be that long, but hopefully you got something good out of it, and we'll see you on the next one.